Okay.
Hello, everyone in hospitality, and hello to my partner today, guest, Alison from Avocado Social. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Better than some and worse than others, maybe. But
Mm.
I think what we're trying to do is just stay super positive about everything as much as we can, and just provide some free advice for people that are just a little bit worried about what to do next
Mm.
in terms of coronavirus, marketing their hospitality business and things like that. So the chat seems to be that everyone is turning to delivery. So brands that you wouldn't expect to be on delivery, like pasta brands and things like Dishoom and people like that, it's a real surprise to see them going on. So I think it's, if people aren't going to come to you, then you need to go to them. So what we wanted to do, both of us, was just use our brains and our knowledge and just try and be helpful to give you, I guess, around a half an hour video, which will talk you through the best ways that you can actually amplify your message for collection, delivery, drive-through, any of those things that doesn't mean eat in. So looking through it all with the situation, you're going to be in a few situation sort of areas. So either your delivery yourself, a little bit bootstrapped and homemade and whatever, or collection yourself, or indeed drive through where someone runs out to the car or whatever. You're then going to have the aggregators, so the main players being Uber Eats, Deliveroo and Just Eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's obviously some other ways as well, where there's the smaller aggregators like Supper and all these things. So it almost doesn't matter, because you'll know what the call to action is. So we can go through that. So before Alison sort of comes in as well, the things I was going to go through, and we're both going to go through later, is talking about what I talked about in my last video, which was owned, paid and earned. So always thinking in this OPE way. So what can you do to keep things consistent in all your own channels, all your paid channels, so advertising, which we're going to focus on, and then your earned channels, which is the good stuff, the good sort of vapor in the air after you've done some good things, that word of mouth. So going back, Alice and I have been chatting off mic about some really great examples of brilliant initiatives from hospitality businesses. So, Al, I don't know if you want to go through a couple of those that you've seen that you've been particularly pleased with.
Yeah, sure. Of course. I've been sort of spotting lots of great stuff in social media on both Instagram and Facebook mainly. So the ones that have really stood out to me was Pret a Manger. Of course, we love their marketing, but they have been, first of all, encouraging people to come in and just take away. I think they've actually closed their seating areas now. So they're using their wonderful kind of fruit and veg pictures to communicate this. And then this morning, they actually just launched the fact that they're giving away free coffees for NHS workers, which, if you can afford to be generous, which I understand so many people can't right now, but that is such a wonderful promotion that I'm sure we'll see some of the other kind of UK-wide chains doing over the coming weeks. Another one which I particularly liked, just seeing so many pubs now moving to takeaway, even though they weren't even offering this before. So I follow a wonderful pub, which are actually, there's two of them, one in Birmingham and one in Cambridge. They're called Pint Shop, which is a great offering with wonderful food. And they've just today launched a new takeaway service, which is available for kind of local areas in those two cities. So they're communicating that really nicely on Instagram and through Instagram stories. I've also seen a load of local pubs as well. So local pubs that are maybe seeing a hit in their Mother's Day bookings, obviously Mother's Day this Sunday. And, obviously a lot less people coming in now. They are thinking about ways that they can get their food out to the masses. So I've seen a couple of local pubs that I will link to in the notes, sharing the fact that they are getting their takeaway service ready. Even if you're a couple of days off, obviously there's a lot to think about, how you're going to take the payments, what the menu is going to look like, how you're going to package it, how you're going to get it out. But I think if you're planning to do that, just letting people know at this stage is really clever, because that might change someone's plans for the weekend, where maybe they were going to come in and have a meal with all their family. Perhaps now they'll just have the meal at home and just do a takeaway. Who knows?
Yeah.
Another one we spotted just this morning is Chipotle offering Zoom Hangouts, not Google Hangouts. So Zoom, which is very much the app of the moment. And this is what we're actually recording today's video on. They're offering Hangouts for their fans. So if their fans just want to come and get together, maybe eat their Chipotle wraps together, then that's quite a nice way, particularly as there's so many people now feeling quite isolated and lonely at home. Mark, you saw a great one with Brewdog, didn't you?
Oh, a great few. I'm unashamedly a fanboy of James Martin and David. They're just doing some great things. And yeah, you've got the drive-through or the drive-brew, I wish it was called. But yeah, so you've got the drive-through stuff. Brilliant that they've done it. The hand sanitizers, so they're going like Louis Vuitton. And was it LVMH I'll be right, in France, where they're going to actually use their power to make hand sanitizer at the brewery and get that out there, which I think is absolutely amazing. So just continuing to innovate. I mean, they just knock me for six most weeks with something that's going on, like just amazingly forward thinking, and speed of execution is everything at the moment. And I think also there's what you're seeing from businesses is not enough content going out. And the complaint that I get all the time is, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Well, sure, you're going to be busy sorting out other things, but hopefully if you are staying afloat and you are staying open, there might be a little bit of time to just do that bit more content. Mm-hmm. One post is not enough. You know, I'm seeing a lot of that people are putting out their statement and that's it. Mm-hmm. As you say, Alison, I think, you know, they've got to keep doing, take me on the journey with you, you know, yeah. Let me know what it's like indoors, you know, and also with the drama and the jeopardy and all the things that are going on, people want to see, you know, humanness and humanity at the moment. So I think some of that would be really welcome. Yeah. The other thing, which I think has been a great example, is Mr. Gok Wan. You know, huge fan of his as well. He used to eat sushi all the time and got a couple of hugs from him for some free meals. But didn't say much about what was wearing right enough. But I think, you know, from that point of view, he's doing Instagram Live tonight. So this is Wednesday, right? Yeah. Yeah. So he's doing Instagram Live recipes. So brilliant. Again, how can you keep connected with your teams, with your customers, and just keep it going? So I want to see a Wagamama cook-off, you know. Yeah. You know,
a dish room cook-off. Yeah, I want to know how to cook their famous dishes at home,
and just keep that craving for it. And then also, you know, thinking about schools and stuff. There's going to be a lot of kids cooking classes. Get on it straight away. So bakeries, you know, the noodle ones, you know, all this stuff, the sushis of this world, the ones that people, you know, are really drawn to as kids, I think would be amazing.
Yeah, Easter especially, you know, Easter cake, Easter chocolate. Yeah, there's a lot of scope there. I think as well, just really being aware of what you've already got planned in your schedules. I mean, we're advising clients at the moment to really review what they've got scheduled coming up in social media, and also if they were planning on doing
automated posts,
or even just in their marketing plans, you know, any launches, anything that might seem a little flippant now needs to go. You need to really review, is this appropriate? Is this going to be helpful to the conversation rather than just extra noise as well? And so I think anyway, like you say, you can take someone along on your journey and sort of tell your audience how you're prepping and planning, you know, whether you're choosing to stay open, whether you're doing delivery. There's a brilliant bakery in my local city, Salisbury, called Reeves the Bakers. Mm-hmm. And they have decided to do deliveries out to all the local villages of fresh bread and pastries as well. So things like that, I think, you know, any big decisions you make needs to go on social media. They will be shared, they will be applauded, and keeping everybody sort of thinking about you and supporting you as well is really important.
I think you're right. And also I got a call from Big Beach Cafe in Hove yesterday. So Danny and Norman there, and basically they were just sort of asking, for any more tips, what's going on in the market. So everyone keeping talking is great, but also what they did was then a video with, Fatboy Slim in the video, which is, going to go far, I suppose. So from that point of view, he's then saying, how can we best serve you? And I think it's the time more than ever to be more customer oriented. And a lot of chat I've heard from people is, oh, what's wrong with people? Why are they not coming out to the pub? And it's like, look, you need to have some empathy and then turn that telescope round to see it from their point of view and try and live in their shoes. And I think, they're doing the right thing by actually going out, and Leon have done it as well brilliantly, going out and saying, what do you want from us? How can we be better? Have you got a creative idea? We're listening, which I think's an absolutely brilliant thing to do.
I mean, the generosity going around in social media at the moment, I'm sure as well, a lot of people will want to help your business and help you stay afloat. I mean, just a really small example, we run the social media for the pizza brand Pizza Union in London. And we've had a few influencers actually that we've worked with in the past few months sending us messages of support and also sending us photos which they took when they came in, in case we'd like to use them. So almost supporting us with content. One of the things that we've done sort of as a quick reaction was we've decided to change the posts that are going out in the next week or so just to showcase their takeaway menu.
Yeah.
So rather than sort of having pictures of in the locations, we're just really focusing on the menu now and just trying to get everybody supporting their takeaway offering.
Great. So I think let's dive into owned, paid and earned then. Yeah. So the channels that we're going to really be considering today in the main, or totally, is Facebook and Instagram. I mean, I've always a bit greedy, so I like all the other channels as well. But let's.
You love LinkedIn, Mark, don't you?
I really do. Yeah. Facebook with a suit. So there's that. So if we look at owned channels, being everything digitally and also offline, what you can control. So we're talking website, PPC messaging, SEO, social media channels, CRM, all these things. So what's your advice on the owned channels then?
Yeah. I mean, we've already touched on a couple of things, like making sure you're aware of what's scheduled in. I think your tone of voice is really important here. Making sure that you're being empathetic, like you say, to all the different people affected, that your posts aren't too flippant or inappropriate or, whimsical. And you're sort of really addressing the kind of current situation, but also not instilling panic and fear as well, which is a really hard line to sort of stay on. So I think my best advice at the moment is just look at how other people are doing it as well, because you can get so much inspiration from others. The other thing I'd really recommend is just having a quick read of your biography. So is it obvious that you're available for takeaway? And if so, where? Are you using some of those major players, or are you just doing takeaway yourselves? A great tool which I use is called Linktree, which is a free tool that allows you to have a link in your Instagram bio that then leads people off to different websites. So you could have order on our website, order on Deliveroo, order on Just Eat, etc., as that available link in your bio. So you can set that up today. It's at link.tree, and we'll put that in the notes as well.
Yeah, I was thinking we'll do a nice little summary at the end, maybe of the 13 tips or 20 tips or whatever it is.
Exactly. We're really kind of thinking about, we want more pictures of people at home with their takeaways, which of course is earned. So I'll talk about that in a little bit later on. But I think where you can really, in your owned media, encourage customers to share themselves enjoying their meals, their experiences at home.
Excellent.
And also just showcase your full takeaway menu. Rather than just doing a picture of your menu, we want pictures of the dishes, what they look like, how they're going to be packaged, how people can expect they're going to arrive, what's available on the takeaway. Are the vegan options? Are the gluten-free options? Are the vegetarian options? Which dishes aren't available for takeaway? You might want to communicate if there's something that is just impossible for you to package up. And also, how can people expect the takeaway to be delivered? So I know Deliveroo launched contactless delivery, so the driver will leave something on your doorstep if that's how you prefer. So if that is available, let people know, because obviously there's some very vulnerable people right now who are really worried about that. And so I think just communicating those offers, those different options, is really important.
Definitely. I think that UGC thing is such a big deal, because you're also, it'd be a really good idea to connect with the other things that are going on right now. So you've got, you know, the joke is, as if things aren't bad enough, you've got Coldplay doing a video spec.
I like Coldplay. Oh.
But I think it's cool to like them again, apparently. So with that, you know, how can your offer be part of that, you know, sort of sentiment and that movement? Also, you've got things like Netflix and Party now. So you're going to be able to join together as if you're in the cinema and still be able to look at your phone as you're watching a Netflix flick with your friends. So I think this sort of isolation collaboration sort of movement is going to be quite a sweet one, and it's thinking about how can you tap into that. I mean, like the frustrations I'm going to have when it eventually does get locked in, that you can't just go next door to your mates for a pint, you know. It's going to be, so how can we tap into that emotion and help service people when they need it, you know?
Absolutely. So those are kind of...
Sorry, just on that point, you know, can you gift people a surprise, create a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, miss you, mate.
I saw a pub, I think it was, I don't want to get it wrong now, so I can't remember who it was, but I'll link to it,
right,
offering a free oyster with a pint yesterday, which I thought was quite cool.
What, do deliver?
No, they were sort of doing a last ditch attempt, I think,
right.
getting people in.
Yeah.
But I thought that was quite...
Mulligans, was it?
No. I'll have a think, but maybe with certain orders of delivery, you could chuck in something extra for free. I think that's always a nice thing, isn't it?
Low cost, high perceived value.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves it when you get a bottle of Coke for free, right? With the Domino's.
So sometimes if you just get the right pizza with some of the delivery.
Yeah.
So I think this whole catalyst for change, I think, is going to change a lot of things, and hopefully for the better. So, you know, fingers crossed, you know, in that sort of brave new world. So, Owen, is there anything else that we can think of? I mean, obviously there is the full digital side, which is websites and SEO and PPC, and I might do another session on that.
There's something that's bugging me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Obviously, a lot of the COVID-19 communication is currently being done on email. So I'm getting a lot of emails from businesses, from brands, from, you know, independents, as well as nationwide brands. But then when you go and look at their social media, it's business as usual. I wonder whether, I mean, personally, I would like to see consistency between anything that is announced via email over on social as well, because you know, since GDPR, I'm sure we all cut down on how many emails we receive from businesses. There are businesses that I support and I like, but I just haven't signed up to their email. So I might be missing some of their key announcements.
You're so millennial. Well, I think it's a triple threat, right? So I think there's three things that you should always be doing. And one is, email can still be effective, right? You're still looking at 12 to 22% open rate on that database that you've got. And then with people like wireless social, etc., you know, more data's coming in, which is great. So post GDPR, I think it's got better, but you're right. People want to receive the things in other ways. So organic social, but then the percentage of people seeing that could be low, and there's a lot of noise at the moment. And then I'd do some paid behind it. It doesn't need to cost much, but you know, start thinking about that. And if you can triangulate who's coming into your stores versus people that love you, and then custom audiences and all the rest of it, which we'll come on to, then, you know, I think you have to be belts and braces and I don't know, sock straps, I don't know. But, you know, the three things, you need to be that, like, all the time. And this is the problem with so many, which is you'll do one channel, you'll do one post, you'll do two, not three, you know, and I understand everyone's cutting costs and bringing it down, but it doesn't take too long for you to do it. You know, even if you don't do the paid, to make sure, and consistency is the word here. You need to be, and this is changing minutely, not even hourly. So it is just doing as much as you can to keep people informed, because you'll benefit from that when things, and you know, get back to normal, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so shall we move on to paid then?
Yes.
Okay, so I definitely think it's important to, if you have got, you know, some spare budget, which I realise isn't going to be the case for everyone right now. Sorry, that's my dog there.
Yeah.
But I think you do have to consider, you know, actually what budget could we put into communicating our new takeaway offering, for example. Even if it's 50 quid, you know, it's going to hit way more people than an organic post. Mm-hmm. And also it could, well, it's going to get out to the people that you really, really care about, the ones that you know will be up for a Deliveroo or a Just Eat, for example.
Yep.
So I always say, Mark, that, you know, the best place to run your ads is Ads Manager, which is in Facebook. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to very, very quickly share my screen for a second, just to kind of show you guys how that looks for anyone that's never been there before. So bear with me while this opens. But while you're kind of thinking about getting some ads going, I would consider, well, let's consider what you need first of all. In order to run the ads, you do need a credit card that you would, or debit card that you would charge the ads to.
Credit, not debit.
No, debit works. Credit or debit.
Yeah.
You need some imagery, some decent imagery that's going to capture people's attention. Now, I say imagery, but it could be video as well. So it could be, you know, a boomerang, a slow motion, quick video, etc., etc. So unfortunately, I've hit a little bit of an issue here with my share screen for some reason. It's funny how this never happens before, and then you go live and it happens.
Yeah.
So, can you see my Chrome?
Yes.
Okay. So if we jump into ads, can you see my ads manager?
Huh?
Yeah.
Can you make it any bigger?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one untidy desktop, by the way.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is Ads Manager. So the easiest way of getting to it is by going to facebook.com/ads manager. Or if you use Facebook for Business, which I do, it's business.facebook.com/ads manager. So in here, you'd be creating a new campaign, and you can just follow the instructions down the left here in order to set up your campaign. I'd say for this sort of campaign, it's really all about traffic, because that's what you want. You want clicks going straight through to either your website or your partner, third party kind of delivery provider, whether that's Just Eat or Deliveroo. Mm-hmm. So just hit the traffic there. And just give your campaign a name. So, you know, fairly straightforward. And remember, like I said, you can have a budget of 50 quid for this. You don't have to be spending a huge amount. Mm-hmm. I probably recommend starting small and then going wider if you see success from it. Mm-hmm. So you're driving people straight through to your website, and then later on you'll get an opportunity to put that URL in. So that will be over here in the sort of ad building section. Mm-hmm. But the sorts of people you want to be targeting comes here in the audience section. And this is where you really want to think about who are those people that are going to be easiest for us to target. Maybe they're people that you already know order takeaways from you. Or if you're doing takeaway for the very first time, it could be that you're targeting people in a very specific area of the UK. Obviously,
well, I think that's an important point, right? Because you don't want people to waste money. So if your delivery, you know, that Deliveroo only does 3, 4, 5, 2 kilometers, whatever it is,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't waste lots of money going for 6, 7, and 8 kilometers.
No.
When those people can't get it, they'll just get annoyed.
Exactly. And the brilliant thing about this is you can literally just pop in where you are. So we'll do Brighton for you, Mark. And you can zoom in. And if you even wanted to, you could drop a pin on a map, and that will actually pick up some coordinates there, and you can sort of hone in on that delivery area. So I would say the more specific you can be, the more relevant the ad's going to be to your audience, the more chance they're going to click on it. And actually, you know, come the weekend, come Saturday night, Friday night, Sunday night, you know, if we do go into complete lockdown, these are the things that people are going to be looking for. It's things to do at home, takeaway options, etc. Mother's Day, Easter, you know, there's lots coming up that I'm sure people will want a little treat for. They're going to be happy to spend some money on some good quality food. So just things to be aware of. So obviously we've got location there. So we'll just stick to Brighton for the moment. Age. So you probably just want to be honing in on the age groups that you already have as customers. Mm-hmm. Remember, we're not really trying to target huge amounts of people here. It's about targeting the right people. And then down here, you want to take very careful attention of this area called detailed targeting. And in here, you can actually start to type in some specific dietary requirements or some specific sort of food cuisines that people might prefer. So for example, if you're Thai, you know, get Thai food in there. If you're a Thai restaurant, Thai cuisine, there's 55 million people on Facebook that are interested in Thai cuisine. I love Thai food. Yeah. Food and restaurants, you know, people who are interested in food. You could target people who like Deliveroo and Just Eat. So they're people who are very happy to order online and have done before.
And Uber Eats and all the rest of it as well.
Exactly. And so you can see I'm beginning to build this picture of an audience, which over here on the top right hand side, it's giving me a number, you know, 13,000 people. Estimated results, obviously that's going to be based on your budget. So going a little bit further down, you can see here, this is where you'd put your budget in.
What does the budget say? It's quite small.
So if I just go for a budget of 50 quid, let's see what happens. So 50 quid over the next week. Oops. Start today, run them for a week, just to see sort of how it all goes. So it's saying I could reach up to 3,000 people a day, and it's estimating up to 25, 26 clicks a day on my ads. Now, obviously that is an estimation that Facebook has, you know, using some algorithm come up with. But the best thing to do is use a small budget, test it, learn, see if it works, put more budget in, you know, change your imagery if you want to, change your messaging. The other thing I would be aware of is where that advert goes. So just above there in placements, you can see Facebook's going to put it automatically everywhere. But if I choose manual, I can actually decide exactly where my ad is going to be shown, whether it's, you know, Facebook, Instagram stories, in the news feed, in the video feeds, even in Messenger. So be quite specific about where you want your ad to be.
So yeah, so you'd say go manual, not automated.
I would, yeah. I'd say if you've got a bigger budget, then stick it everywhere. But for 50 quid, you just want to probably go for newsfeed or stories, or both of those.
But what we're not saying is 50 quid's actually a good amount to spend. We're just saying if you don't have much, you know, have a play. But
Yeah.
you know, what would you recommend would be a good spend for anyone?
I mean, obviously it comes down to how many people you're targeting. If you're one location in one area of the UK, I'd say, you know, test it with something like 50 to 150 pounds.
So is that £50 for a week or £50 per day?
For a week.
Right.
Yeah.
See, if you go back, can you stick in 500 quid and just see what happens?
Absolutely. Let's have a play around. I think if you're, you know, UK-wide brand, this is where you want to be spending, I would say, over £1,000 to really see some benefits.
Okay, so if you do £500 in Brighton with the criteria that you've done, you can have, God, it's actually quite low, isn't it?
It is, but, you know, I wouldn't take those as gospel either.
Oh, it's just updated again.
Oh, I've just upped the budget to 1,000. So test it out. You know, don't be put off by the fact that we're talking about thousands of pounds here, because if you're a local pub or local coffee shop, this could absolutely work wonders for you as well.
And then just on the content side of it, I know we'll have probably some more stuff to go through here. Just in the content, though, the tips that you're always giving me are things like don't put too much copy on the image, and also the types of ads are something to think about as well. You know, the carousel versus, you know, there's all these things as well.
Yeah, I think for the moment, I would be tempted, and this is just my personal preference, of just going for a single image ad. Reason why is you just want to get that message across in one swoop. The reason I'm kind of maybe going away from carousel here is because that's really when people have that time to browse and explore. And I just think the way people are using social media at the moment is literally scroll, looking for news, looking for keywords, almost in that sort of very panicked way, that you just want to get your message across really simply. We're doing takeaway, and, you know, click here to see our menu, or click here to order on delivery. A little bit further down, this is where you can sort of start to build your ad. So you've got a little bit of text in here. Don't put too much. You know, you just want to get people straight onto the website. And in here, this is where you put the website URL of where you want people to go. So that could be Just Eat, Delivery, Uber Eats, your own website.
Yeah, sorry, I talked over you. Going back up, it's, you know, it is as simple as, you know, love VIP pizza, you know, order now, you know, we deliver to your door, you know, contactless. You can even stick that stuff in there, couldn't you? Yeah.
Exactly. I'd need an image, first of all. I haven't got an image in there.
That's all.
Now, the other thing you could do, Mark, which I think is worth pointing out, is if we go back to audience, you do have an option here of creating what's called a custom audience. So for those of you that have been doing advertising before, this is something I'm sure you have become familiar to. If I click create new, I can create a custom audience, which means people who've already interacted with me before. So these could be people who've been on your website, who have signed up to your emails, or they could be people who have simply looked at your social media pages as well. Now, if you're going to use your own sources at the top, you need to be GDPR compliant, which is something, you know, I've got a blog post about, so we can talk about that in the notes. But if you're a bit worried about whether you're GDPR compliant or not, I would recommend using Facebook sources. which means you can target people who've been on your Instagram or have been on your Facebook page in the last year. So these are people who've shown some level of interest in your business before. And so it's going to be a warmer sell to them to get your delivery or your takeaway offering out there.
And just to clear up, sorry, on Instagram as well, while we're talking about all this, how do you sort of advertise on both?
So back in placements, all it is just making sure Facebook and Instagram are both selected.
So it's almost like just in your head thinking you're building this for Facebook and Instagram, if indeed you are.
Yes. Yeah.
Take Facebook.
And I would, you might as well do both. You know, unless you've got a really tiny level of audience on one.
Yeah.
But I'd say food brands, you're probably going to see more of this on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
However, I wouldn't discount Facebook. I mean, for some of our clients, you know, we're getting just as much engagement on Facebook at the moment than we are on Instagram.
Opportunities are advertising in Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Advertising in Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, even Facebook stories as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
People are kind of warming to that a bit more at the moment.
I think so, yeah. I think so. So, yeah, definitely think about those options.
Anything else in here?
So we've kind of been through the main things.
Yeah.
You know, once you've built your ad, it's simply a case of getting that live, and it will go to Facebook's HQ to be approved there. Mm-hmm. But you know, this platform, I do get feedback. You know, people are like, oh, it's overwhelming. It's actually, if you just kind of go through and stick to the main points, it's not so bad. I'm actually going to be doing an online course next Thursday on Facebook and Instagram advertising. Mm-hmm. So if anybody does want to join us, it's 1 hour next Thursday lunchtime. Then you can find out about that in the notes as well.
Yeah. Excellent. So the other things then is thinking about this being a campaign, maybe more than one ad. So you're able to do multiple creatives.
Yeah, absolutely. You can run up to 6 images on rotate for no extra cost on your ads. So that's just a case of making sure there's options there. So I would really test that. Have different dishes, maybe have a picture of some customers enjoying the dishes, or even your chefs preparing the dishes in the kitchen. You know, just be aware of things like whether they're wearing gloves, whether where they're cooking looks clean, you know, what the kind of general hygiene looks like in those pictures as well, because that's the sort of thing people are hyper aware of at the moment.
And probably be brave and start thinking about video.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just briefed one of our clients to see if they can get a video of a delivery driver coming in to get the pickup and then sort of walking out, because I think that's just a really nice way. You know, their uniform, the blue coat, is so recognizable that I think as soon as someone sees that, they'll know, okay, brilliant, they're doing delivery.
It can't be long before they get into motorsports, will it? You know, you see that kind of happening. So if I just share my screen, I'll try anyway.
Yeah.
And something that I was wanting to do was just show you my screen here. So it was nudge advertising that I was talking about, where basically what's happening is, I'll see if I can get this to work. It's asking me about system preferences.
I had to do that as well. You just have to tick the box in privacy, on security and privacy.
Right.
We're all getting to grips with Zoom
I
at the
know.
moment, aren't we?
I think this might be it now.
There we go.
So can you see that now?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the thing that I've been getting really excited about. Does that work?
Yes.
So there's three things here where I'm, so convinced this is the way to go. Now, the first one is good old Gary Vaynerchuk. And what he's doing is, rather than just saying, come and see my speaking dates, he's taken the time to actually say, come and see me in Edmonton. Now, I saw this from Tip Jar today, where they're doing a hospitality fund for workers, and they've been so smart because the graphics are help Brighton, help Bristol, help Aberdeen, help Cardiff, whatever. So I think putting the extra time into this and marrying it up with your campaign is such a good idea. So, for example, if not only you're saying Brighton, but you might actually take an area of Brighton and say, what's up, Hangleton or Hanover? So, like Gary V does when he's selling his sneakers, he'll just do a day's worth of those intros going, what's up, Zurich? What's up, Zimbabwe? What's up, Sydney? And then cut into the main video. I think it's such an opportunity to just put that 10-15% extra effort in. And I think it will really speak to people. When you see an ad on TV for something that's really local to you, you think, how have they got the budget for that? And how did that, I just think it's much better. So that's point one is, I think it'd be really smart to have a campaign that's mega targeted to a small area that you can be super personal about. So that's kind of point one. Point two then is about this nudge advertising. So nudge is not a new idea, of course. It was like a government thing a while ago. But this is so cool. So every single time I go onto Facebook, I see adverts for the mini MBA by Mark Ritson at Market Week. Badly targeted in that I've done it, right? He's wasting money on me. But I'm raving about it, so maybe it is a smart move on his point. But when you go in, it's amazing, right? Because the first ad you get is top left going 12 weeks, 12 modules, 1 MBA, and it's him, red and white Coca-Cola stuff, and, really striking. But then that changes up into a marketing course, but not as you know it. What will you do with the mini MBA? And when he's doing it on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, he's doing it natively. So the ad is absolutely optimized and perfect for that form. Now, what is even better for me is where you've got the young lady there saying, maximize your marketing career. And that's super smart targeting, because again, putting that out to, powerful females and humans and all that stuff is really smart. People like to be marketed to by people like them. It's just a fact. So that's amazing. And then seeing, someone similar holding that boardroom table down is just absolutely amazing. And then there's guy ones and there's all different, so that is just such a pleasing thing to see, that it's the same message and he's pumping you 8, 10, 12 times to buy it. But at the same time, there's something rewarding off of every ad that's worth seeing. And then the other example of that is Nike Air Max here. So the only reason I'm at the bottom, I don't like the colorways, but they've been absolutely pumping me for this as well, which is the Nike Air Max was designed for those who go against the grain. And then so it's, something kind of cool happening there and all urban and street. Maybe a bit of a misstep having Slow Tie after his performance at NME Awards wearing them. But anyway, they're still going out with that. And they've got it in a collection mode where you see him and you want to be part of that, and then all the products underneath. Then there's a pink version, which has got, the shop now message in the same copy as the blue ones. Then you've got carousels, then you've got different views. So you're seeing the top, you're seeing the back, and you're seeing the tongue, and, all the air bubble. So all these things are leading you. So if there's anything that you can do to have 6, 8, 10, 12 versions of that campaign going to someone, I think sometimes you just get the sale for effort, because people think, oh, that's interesting, and you create brand preference through that. So I think that's something I'm really keen on at the moment,
Yeah, especially if you're doing it for, let's say, a week or 2 weeks. you know, I wouldn't do that kind of advertising for a long period of time, because like a month, because people could potentially get annoyed. But where you've got lots of different versions of ads, like you say, you're delighting people with different views, different stories, different elements, then actually over a week to a 2-week period, that can absolutely help to keep you in somebody's mind and to help someone convert as well.
No, I think it's amazing. Was there anything else that you think was important right now, or was that a good?
I think the kind of final section would be earned. So
yeah.
In terms of how your customers are creating content about you right now. So if you are making a big announcement about a new takeaway or delivery service, absolutely ask people to share. I think they will now, you know, very, very happily stick something on their stories or share it on Facebook. So get those call to actions. Sorry, my dog is sneezing. He's fine, but yeah. Get those call to actions on your post copy. People want to share, they'll want to support you. And then ask people to take pictures of what they think, you know, of them enjoying your food at home, of how they're sort of, you know, enjoying it with their family or setting the table, that kind of stuff, because this content will be really useful to you for continuing to promote the delivery service. You know, I can imagine actually with Brewdog, you know, people in the car snapping the queue, getting their Brewdog delivery through the car window. That kind of content you want to try and maximize on and get people creating that for you. So
that'd be cool, like a sort of carpool karaoke on your way to Brewdog, you know, singing sort of emo hits. That'd be fun. I mean, I think there's other things as well, like don't underestimate the simple things in life, like maps to where you are within the ads as well, and, you know, parking messaging. You know, for example, I'm a real nervy driver. I'm not much of a top gear lad or anything. So with that, I'm kind of looking at the city centre of Brighton and going, oh God, where would I park? Have they got a car park? You know, all these questions. And I think it's just try and put yourself in all the different mindsets which you might discount and it might not be like you. But the more information you can give through those ads as well, you know, don't worry, we'll get it to you. Don't, you know, just park up, hazard lights on, you know, all that stuff. Then I think it will make people feel more at ease about what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, my dog is sneezing because he's been out in the garden, and I think he's got a little bit of grass in his nose.
Not good, as long as there's no vomiting. That's good. So, you know, and also talking to your PR agencies, if you've got them, you know, and things like Feed It Back and all these, what are people saying about you? What's happening to the reviews? You know, with the added thing of takeaway and delivery, are people reviewing your restaurant on that? Is your takeaway not as up to scratch as the restaurant? Is it bringing your scores down? So, you know, work with people like Feed It Back to look at that as well, you know.
Yeah, even things like in TripAdvisor, have you selected the box to say we do takeaway as well?
Yeah. Is
just
a really
a bit of a review of that.
It's a really big deal. So the couple of final things I was going to talk about was, you know, just get really curious about other people's content, and it doesn't have to be in this industry. You know, just look out there for the things that you like and then try and re-engineer that for what you do, or your competitors are doing great stuff or whatever it is. With competitors, you know, there's also a way for you to go into advertising and see what your competitors are doing, you know, and running those campaigns. So, you know, we can put links to that perhaps, or, you know, have a look on Google about how to do that. That will just give you an idea of what's going on. It's been really good to see about the cost of things. So, you know, that's been amazing to see, like, you know, what 50 quid does versus 1,000 quid. But as you say, don't take that as gospel. You know, you'll hopefully do better than that. But also be sensible. You know, don't chuck 100 quid at one customer. You know, one click. You know, that's foolish. Not too much text as well. You know, try. It's so hard for me because I want to put so much text on that image so that people read it, but it's better with a striking image and good copy above or below, depending on what you are. And then, yeah, just that types of ads. So as you're saying, forget carousels and collections and stuff right now. Just go for that single view to get your message across. And then I think the only final things I was going to say was, you know, your website. So avocadosocial.com has got so much great stuff in there. You've got a great video of us talking in January about the social media tips for 2020, a lot of which still holds. So that's good. There's lots of good resource on there. And, you know, if anyone just needs any help, then give us a call and we'll try and help you as much as we can. So we'll put in the notes how to get in touch with us. But obviously we're very active on all the social media channels. So either Avocado Social or Supersonic_Inc. Then, you know, we're around to just try and help everyone get through this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, hopefully this video has helped, and please do share it as well. It would
Get it far and wide.
Yeah, we want to help as many people as possible and give people options of kind of what to do, because it's such, you know, unprecedented times. I think we've all got to, you know, be thinking creatively and all supporting each other as well.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck out there to everyone in hospitality. Stay well, your friends, family, guests, team members, everyone. Look after each other, and yeah, hopefully some more videos to come to help you through this, really challenging time. Thanks, Alison.
Pleasure. Thanks, Mark.
Django the dog. And thanks to everyone that's watched. But please, please, please share this, not for us, but to help others. And please get in touch if you need anything at all. Thanks so much. See you later. Cool.